G'day guys. Here I am at the Hidden Valley. Now I was filming this place over 20 years ago. This is where I caught my first ever bass on a weedless worm hook soft plastic rig. And I just want to show you. Now we had, as you all know from my previous videos, we had 100 mil of rain in one day. So we had a flood come through here. Right? Here I am standing on ground, yeah? Pipes are empty. There's Hidden Valley. I'll have a fish. It used to be one of my favourite fisheries, especially after a big rain event. This is the very end of O'Hara's Creek. That over here is Cat-Eye Creek. Every square inch of Sydney's waterways has raw sewage in it. We've confirmed that. That's scary. Now you want to really be scared? See this here? In the biggest drought Sydney ever had, I filmed this and we had to do it from a boat. You could only fish this by boat. It held this paddocks for full. Now this is a swamp. It's just had a flood 2 weeks ago and it's empty. Go and Google up Thelmere Lakes, south of Sydney. Thelmere Lakes, I used to fish 20 years ago like this and catch a lot of bass in it. Guys, Thelmere Lakes doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't hold water. Even in a flood, it doesn't hold water. Why is there a metre of bank on this pond now? And why is Sydney's swamps draining like buckets with holes in them? I have a theory, and what it is Sydney's lined with a coal seam basin, and they've cracked it.
Mate, have you ever lit the Nepean before?
Never.
Whack it on.
You will see in this video a mixture of old and new footage. I wanted to show you the very first fish I ever caught on soft plastic with a worm hook. The footage is bad because I did it, so just bear with me. Rough. Zoomed in when I shouldn't, you know the drill. Bad audio, bad everything. Bass aren't stupid, they're drought proof. So if this dries up now, like it never used to, bass won't go in here. So give us a few casts and then that'll be it. So that would just send them crazy if they were in here. I'll just try the main creek before I go delving in there. Watch some old clips of mine. I'll just show you not so much fishing clips, but I'll try and put in what that used to look like.
Yep, got one. Oh, a bit of fight. Can't see the hook because all the grass he's got. There you go. It's a nice little pond bass.
What that used to look like. Like you'll see a couple of lily pads there. That's the remnants of the old.
Got the shadow of the gum trees off the bank, so if there's bass in here, they've pretty well got the whole, like that. They've got the whole area to play in.
Once again, in my YouTube channel, there is dozens of videos done down here. Because when you get that rain, fish leave the muddy clay creeks and they go up into these clear water creeks. And I've been documenting that for 20 plus years. You know, up till 10 years ago, I could never walk the banks of any of these swamps. Broadwater, Boggy Weenie, here. Never could walk the bank. I bet you if I go down the Broadwater today, I'll be able to walk it. 2 weeks after a flood. It's like the land has a crack in it. And no one knows what I'm talking about. Here it is.
This is crazy.
Bit of pyromaniac here.
Well, it's... Mate, have you ever lit the Nepean before?
Never.
Whack it on.
Oh!
Thousands of years this was a swamp hole, and now it's a stagnant, drying up pond. Oh, please have a bass in it, mate. I need a bass just to make my day, because it gets depressing doing these videos. Yeah. I will show you. You'll see some beautiful water. Like when I say you couldn't fish the bank, I got in this video, you'll see, I got mates as cameramen, you know, standing on the bank here while I cast from the boat, because there was spots, but it was all, like, honestly, you couldn't walk it. You'd never walk this, ever.
See that giant big red gum there with right shredding the bark? That many sort of insects coming around. Yep, there we go. So there have to be a bass sitting around here. It's an easy food source for him. See that hole through there?
Yeah, underneath the tree.
I want you right in on that. You got to be quick, because this boat's going to drift away. You got it?
Yeah.
And look at it. That was a little flood. There are 2 little floods since then, and there's no water in this swamp. What is going on? The camera doesn't show that properly, but that's a metre from me standing here to there. Check out my old footage, you won't see that.
Now, right along that bank there, we've got a weed bed that's only 6 inches under the water right through here. Right along that hard bank, if you can just film over there. Got him.
Isn't it sad, eh? And the thing is, the connection is this. You can't play God. Oh, see, there was a fish there, but whether it was a carp. The fact that Sydney Water's doing so many evil things with our sewage and waterways, there is nobody doing scientific tests on our waters. So when I say our swamps don't hold any water anymore because we, I think that was a weed, because we cracked the basin by coal mine, longwall coal mining. It's not coal seam, it's longwall coal mining is what it is. Do you think they're going to send scientists down to check that out? This is the best thing about these videos, is I can explain that when you read up the sewage in our rivers, one of the big reasons is Sydney Water will tell you it's dog poo. You know how you get a fine if you don't get a plastic bag and pick up your dog shit? Well, they're saying that is half the reason, or a major reason, why there's sewage in our rivers. I took so many mates down here in the little tinnies and that back in the day, and it was just a fun place for Westies to go. And not a single bite, fish, yada yada yada. What are we? Coming into February, prime time. Whoa. Speaking of snakes. Prime time for bass fishermen. And so I think a lot of YouTubers have come down here. Right, you're not going to catch a fish, so we're not going to do a video. I already know I'm not going to catch a fish, but I'm doing this video. Like, if I do catch a fish, that's a bonus. But I'm doing this video to highlight this is a serious problem that needs to be addressed. Why are our swamps dropping? Check out old footage. Now we're back to new footage. Why are these swamps not holding water? Why aren't the bass running up them? Why doesn't the bass want to go in here anymore? When this thing used to have, I don't know, 1,000 bass in it this time of year? Why won't they run in there anymore? I'll show you old footage again.
Right around to the other side.
And we'll go back into new footage and you'll see the clear difference in this system. Now this system in the, like old footage, which here, have a look at again.
See the markings here? Where the Aboriginals have been sharpening their spears along here. These are prime eel country, eel, bass. I'm sure they would have called them perch. But they're definitely from the Aboriginals. There's markings like that all over these rocks.
You've just seen then that this system was healthy and thriving for 1,000 years, just like it looked. And now, 20 years down the track, look at it. It's dead. Sad. Sad, sad. I mean, you could keep your private, like, there is, don't prove me wrong by going, oh, I caught a fish there yesterday. It's like, once again, I'll show you again, look at old footage. That's how I wanted the fish, like it was in the old days. I don't really like fishing this shit now. It looks like shit. Oh yeah, you just come down here and sight fish. I had a mate, his father was dying of cancer, so I sat him on a log further up. And we just sat there for the afternoon and we were just, look, there. And as the dragonflies come across, the bass had come up and we were just sighting them. Just got his brain off the real issues of life for that day. Well, if I did the same scenario comes up again, I can't take him here. This will just make him more depressed. Especially if they're a nature lover. Yeah, every single time I cast it, those mid-water snags, bang, and right along the edge, all this edge. Surface lures. You'll see old videos, YouTube videos of mine, and just all along here. Frogs. Oh my God, you want to see them hit them. And then there's an art to catching them, like with the surface. It's a slow. It's not a very fast draw like a lot of creeks. You tend to be more rod tapping and vibrations. I mean, beetle spin will just catch fish anywhere. If I can't get a bite with a beetle spin. Show you old footage of the very first bass I ever caught on a worm hook soft plastic was up here. Another reason why you had to, you couldn't fish like this. There was so many lily pads and weeds and.
Let him hit it. Yeah, you just got to let him suck it in. That's my opinion at the moment. Let him inhale that whole rubber. Oh, you see I've got one on there now. Oh, bloody things.
Structure. So we had to learn how to fish the weedless way if you wanted to be successful in it. And that we did. And now the place is void of fish. Like, I mean, this would have been a metre over my head 2 weeks ago. And then last year I went up to the top end of this creek. I haven't got the heart to do the walk again. It's so depressing, man. Nothing holds. The water just goes straight into the ground now.
Now have it zoomed out so you can see that whole bush. You can see movement in the trees as I come, so I'm going to go shy of the tree.
It's like somebody cracked our coal seam and just, oh hold on, they did it in Cataract River, they did it in Brogo Creek, and they did it up in the Nepean at Douglas Park. Yeah, and they've even acknowledged that they've done it, a contract where if the government shuts them down, they have to pay them out. Google all this up, check if I'm lying or not, but you know, I tend to be right most of the time on this stuff. These are the places that fishermen kept a secret because they were so good. I mean, the place is called Hidden Valley. I really have to thank you guys for all the comments on the last couple of videos. It's good that I'm not the only one out there, but unfortunately it's also sad that, oh, how many of the comments was there? Shit in my creek too. Yeah, just confirming, like, whew, the Blue Mountains, the North Shore, the South Shore, out Camden, Campbelltown, St Mary's, Penrith, you name it, they all confirm everywhere, all us fishermen. Just you don't realise how much this scares the shit out of me. Yeah, I was told this is government land, the wetlands, and it's not like a 100-year lease to private property. Yeah, this is another shitty video, but this one's scary. Like 2 weeks ago, that rain event lifted up the grass to those fence line there, where the no trespassing sign is. That's how high the water got. It got right over this paddock, right through, holding. And now it's all empty again. Look at this, this all held water as a swamp. It changes the environment. We just got that weed, whatever it is. Oh, and thanks guys for, like when I don't know something, you can't believe how much I learn off you guys. I'll go, oh, I don't know what that, well, okay, a good example of that weed. Don't have a clue what it's called. Don't know if it's native. I don't know if it's not native. I will learn from this video. Thank you to you guys. Someone will tell me what that is. Yeah, there's all raw sewage in our creeks. So's livestock, cattle. And you know, I was told that when they test these cattle that are on along our creeks, they are toxic. They have toxins in their bodies. There's cows up there, they're right through here. They have toxins in their bodies. That little black cow there, yeah. But, typical to government, I was also told that when they have a property with toxic stock, they mix it through the mainstream livestock in the abattoirs to thin the toxic animals out through good beef or good sheep, whatever. So they don't get rid of these animals, they don't go to pet shop, they don't go, we eat them, but they get mixed through the general population so we don't eat much at one time. Here we have a beautiful little picnic area right on Cat-Eye Creek, just coming out of Hidden Valley. Once again, livestock on the river. Read the comments on the last few videos and you confirm that Cat-Eye Creek has raw sewage running down it too. But what you don't realise is a few of those beautiful suburbs like Castle Hill, Borkham Hills, all the stuff that connects here, all their shit ends up down here too. Have a look at that. Look at it. Everything that fits in a drain. You know, one of my favourite things I found out of all the weird shit I found fishing was call it Black Betty. It's a black blow-up doll. Oh, that's one of my favourites. That's Black Betty. It's a blow-up doll I found fishing. Sitting there smiling at me on a rubbish pile. Yeah, I don't blame the property owners for not wanting us guys on their creeks. I do blame the lack of people on our waterways. There you go, it's for sale, mate. Why don't we all go and buy it? The whole entire section, Hidden Valley Land for sale, private treaty. See, there you go. So I thought, let's see, private treaty for sale. That's where we were. I have had about, I don't know, probably 100 casts. As as I've done this video and not even look like getting a bass, which is pretty strange because I mean even in these conditions you should get one. 2 weeks ago our water was sitting here. This paddock was a lake. Now why is it all, where's it going? Why doesn't it hold anymore? It really does my head in. I need to know these things. Oh, my daughter. I wonder if anyone's living in this. Hello? Looks like a looks like an ice slab, mobile ice slab. That's all I can say. Sow Creek runs in to the right of this bridge, and there's a Currency Creek, Rickaby's Creek runs in the left of this bridge, and in between that there's a place, just I'll show you now, which we call Little Manly, because it's a beach, a sandy beach, that on any given hot day, like even today, midweek work day, you'll find that there's 50 or 60 people in that water. Sometimes there's hundreds. Have a look at the cars, right? Injury or drowning, swim at your own risk. You know, we have 2 drownings a year. There's a concrete block over there, under that. Kids dive on it, break their neck and drown. Do you know back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, there used to be lifeguards here because this has always been a popular swimming area. That's why we call it Little Manly. And this was all sandy beach years ago, but have a look. See people? I'm not going to film down there, but there's probably 50, 60 people all the way around that bend as the sand gets up. The old mate there, he'll be eating those fish. There's another fisherman over there, he'll be eating those fish. Would you want to eat fish in this river? I'm telling you now, when they finally test all this, you won't be allowed to. Look at the, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's a distinct colour change straight across there. That's because the tide pushes the river, the pollution this way, and then that way, then this way, and then that way. What about a class action lawsuit for misinformation? I mean, river safety advice and sign translation. Wear a life vest, children over submerged objects, shallow water, poor water quality. There we go. Is that what they call it? Poor water quality. I think it's more than that, guys. There should be a warning saying you might die if you swim. Oh, look at the kid down there, neck deep in it. If you look around closely, you'll see see 10 over there. Go through here, there's homeless people everywhere around here. The cricket oval down there. They eat the fish. They only ever tested Sydney Harbour for toxins and only ever did the one test just to get the commercial fishermen off the harbour. Poor water quality. I'd like to sell them just for that. It's like poor water quality and warning, there's raw sewage in the river with chemicals of 50 to 100 year lifespan, recently dumped in our river, stuck in our tide, you're swimming in it. I want to see signs like that because people should know. But then at the same time, when you come down here and test this, eventually they'll have to have counsellors policing these areas to stop people from swimming here because it'll be against law, because it's toxic. I know what we can do to fix all this. We need to tap into the pipe going from Warragamba to Prospect Dam. We need to blow water down Eastern Creek, Prospect Creek and South Creek. It's called environmental flushing. We need to do that for the next 20 years. And then while we do that, we need to stop polluting. And then we can finally clear up these waterways so it's safe for us to swim in them again.